Hi, I'm Feruz Akbarov, coming to you live from Uzbekistan, the heart of Central Asia. And in the next 40 minutes or so, I'll be engaging you on a very scintillating topic that is lights, camera, action, harnessing vlogging to transform ELT classrooms. Sit back and relax and enjoy the session. That being said, let's move ahead. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, who is a vlogger? First things first. As per the Cambridge Dictionary, vlogger is someone who creates and shares vlogs. And what is a vlog? It's a short video recording expressing your thought, idea, or opinion on various subjects and on the internet. So, looks like to be a vlogger, you just need your phone and internet. Bang, and then you can become a vlogger. Okay, a lot of people mistakenly think that YouTubers are the only type of vloggers. Well, while YouTube is a mainstream platform for vlogging and all those videos, but it's not the only one. And the YouTubers are not the only type of vloggers. And what I'm going to focus in today's session is mobile vlogging. So, like I said, you just need to have your mobile cam and an internet. And then the world of opportunities will be unlocking in front of you, and you will become a vlogger. And you can transform your classes. I wonder if you have read that book. It's called Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck. And she is particularly known for the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. And on that book, on page 21, she brings up a quote by Benjamin Barber. And here is the quote. I don't divide the world into the weak and the strong, or the successes and the failures. I divide the world into the learners and non-learners. Yes, you heard me right, my fellow friends. Learners and the non-learners. In order to make a 20-second mobile vlog, you can't just, open a camera and start shooting a live video. No way. Because most likely a video is going to be public. It is going to be online and accessible for everyone to see. And people are going to comment. People are going to whether like it or dislike it, whether love it or hate it. So, in order to make just a 20-second video, you will have to at least Google. You will have to collect some background information. You will have to fact check. You'll have to do a bit of research. And you will have to fine tune the tweaks. And then, most likely, once you feel like you are ready, that's when you start making a 20-second vlog. So as you can see, each 20-second vlog is going to take some effort from your side and dedication and commitment and a search for a plethora of information to verify the sources, because people are likely to take you up as an example. People are going to believe in what you are putting into your vlogs. And as you make more such short vlogs, you will keep improving yourself. You will become a learner, a lifelong learner. And as a lifelong learner, you will be not only transforming yourself, but you will be ultimately and eventually transforming your own students. And I'll show you throughout this presentation how mobile vlogging can actually transform your ELT classes. By the way, there are so many types of vloggers. Let me show you some of them. The food vloggers, travel vloggers, lifestyle, tech, you just name it. I'll not just go through the exhaustive list, but I'll just pinpoint to the fact that I belong to the educational vlogger, and most specifically to the ELT subcategory. So I consider myself ELT vlogger, and I actually make those 20-second short ELT vlogs For my students, by the way, here is an age-old cliche. A picture is worth 1,000 words. I believe most of you agree with this, right? Yeah, that's $1 million question. You've seen that, you've thought about it, it has crossed your mind thousands, if not millions times. But wait, I'm going to challenge that age old adage with this. I believe a video is worth more than 1,000 pictures. Why not? Have you read a, a bestseller, a million copy book by James Clear, Atomic Habits? In that book, page 84, he brings up some fascinating facts about video. Let's find out together. He says the most powerful of all human sensory abilities is vision. The human body has about 11 million sensory receptors. Approximately the 10 million of those are dedicated to sight. Some extraordinary revelations, by the way. Some experts estimate that half of the brain's resources are used on vision. Now you can see out of like 11 million 11 million sensory receptors, 10 million, more than 90% of those are dedicated solely to the vision. So why not leverage on that? Why not take a full advantage and exploit the natural blessing? So our students react and respond best to the videos. And we as an ELT professionals can harness those advantages to a full extent. By the way, my fellow friends, I'm not an outsider to the theme of vlogging because I was the first ELT professional from all of Central Asia, and most specifically from Uzbekistan, whose article was featured on MET, Modern English Teacher magazine, volume 31, issue 6, November, December 2022. And my article was exactly about the impact of vlogging inside and outside the class. And I also run a humble YouTube channel with more than 1,200 subscribers already. You could be one of those, actually. I can tell you, I can bet my bottom dollar, this is a decent number to be proud of for ELT vlogger. And you can check out my ELT vlogs. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Lights, camera, action. Now to the heart of my presentation. Let's find out what mobile vlogging can bring into your classes and how transformative they can be. Number one, bring the real world to your class. What is it? Authentic language exposure. You know, Gilmore in 2007, he said the real world input enhances communicative competence. So instead of just, exposing our students to traditional texts, we could actually enliven those, enact those traditional text materials into short vlogs and actually play them in our classes to make the class more animated and spirited and lively. And Michan, in 2005, he argued that authentic material can actually increase the learner motivation and engagement. Just think about it. Learner motivation and engagement has been there for ages as those two underlying issues that most of the teachers were asking questions left, right, and center. You know, every other teacher that you come across, they would, question you about how to increase their learners' motivation as well as engagement. Those issues have been there in every classroom. So it's not just unique to any region or any class, but it's actually universal. How to increase our learners' and motivation and engagement through authentic, real world input. And just think of vlogs, because when you integrate the vlogs into your everyday curriculum, you actually spice it up with excitement. And that's how you can actually connect the real world with that of your class. And whatever your students learn in the class, they will be able to put it into practical use. And the moment they step out of the classroom, they will be free and fluent speakers. How awesome is that? Now, it's time for the show. Let's find out a real life vlog. I've been talking so much about it, and this is my vlog. And I made this, I did this in Taj Mahal recently in India. Let's just find out. It's a short, about 20-second vlog. Hey folks, this is World Wonder, Taj Mahal. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think it's considered a world wonder? Is that the sheer size, grandeur, the amount of precious stones used in the construction? Is that the unmatched symmetry, or the white marbles? There's so many questions to ask about its being wonder of the world, but the fact is, it is truly the wonder of the world, and it's going to keep us in awe for generations to come. Why do you think Taj Mahal is the global wonder? Leave your comments below. Take care. Okay, now imagine you just put up a question on a large projector screen saying, hi students. Now, can you please answer this question? Why do you think Taj Mahal is considered a world wonder? You know, that question may not be as appealing, as attractive, as insightful as you show a vlog and pose a question through the vlog. And once your students actually see you in that vlog, I bet you my bottom dollar, your students would be super thrilled seeing you in that vlog and actually getting the question through the vlog, not just in person. That's a great experience. I've had this experience multiple times across different countries, China, Poland, Uzbekistan. You can give it a try in your part of the world. Now let's carry on. My next vlog comes from Oman, Muscat. So, by the way, in order to be a vlogger, you don't have to be in the video always. You could actually just, give your own voice. You could narrate. You could actually speak in the video. You don't have to be always, in front of the camera. Now, this is a very good example. And if you want to improve your students' speaking skills, you can pose wonderful questions. You can pose descriptive questions to your students, and you let your students start thinking critically, descriptively, expressively. Let their imagination fly wild and high. Let's find out this video. Okay, folks. Right now, I'm in a residential block of all those embassy and consulate people, and this palmy promenade is actually right in front of the embassy area, and this is the vast Gulf of Oman with all those gushing tides. And yesterday I was further away from that rock-like island, and today I came by very close, and that's how it all looks. So what do you think about the whole place? Drop your comments below. Instead of just showing black and white, even a color picture, and asking them to, describe the place, if you want to just bounce off some ideas of your students about a description of the whole landscape, it wouldn't be as animated and lively as showing a video, because in the video, they can actually see the tides crashing against the shores, the branches of a palm tree gently swaying, and the birds chirping and flying around with all the commotion and buzz going around. They can see the real life. You can actually bring the real world to the heart of your lesson. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on to the next insight. In this part, I'm going to talk about micro-learning and flip learning. But by the way, what is micro-learning first? It's delivering lesson in small, focused segments, often through mobile apps or bite-sized videos. For example, this vlog of mine comes from Heze, where I used to work as an expat teacher in China. So imagine it's around April, which is just around the corner, and the lilac comes to full bloom. And you are about to teach a set of specific vocabulary about spring. For example, gardens coming into full life, nature is awakening, the trees are budding, the flowers are blooming, etc. Right? So these are a specific set of vocabulary used in regard with the spring. So you're providing your students with contextual vocabulary. In other words, your students may find it hard or at least a bit challenging to learn some contextual vocabulary because they may find it a bit difficult to associate with, right? Without seeing it. Like I said earlier, our students or humankind react and respond best when they see it because, we are created in that way. We respond best when we see things. So I made another vlog about a set of a specific vocabulary on spring. And through this vlog, I wanted to teach my students spring-related vocabulary. Let's find out.
Hello, folks. I was born in July, but I love April the most. Do you know why? I've got two valid reasons. Number one, perfect weather. It's a time of the year when we experience finest weather conditions. April typically offers a delightful combination of mild temperatures, gentle breezes, and longer daylight hours, making it ideal for outdoor activities and enjoying nature. Number two, blossoming beauty. April marks the beginning of spring in many regions, with trees budding, flowers blooming, and gardens coming to life. The vibrant colors and the fragrant scents of blossoms create a picturesque and beautiful, uplifting atmosphere, just like the scent of lilac. I love April. What is your favorite month of the year? Tell me.
You see, this short vlog is not just about teaching a set of specific contextual vocabulary, but also at the same time, you can pose a question at the end of each and every vlog of yours to your students. Instead of just, asking in person, in real life, what's their favorite month of the year, you can actually put that into a 5, 10-second, a 20-second vlog and show it to your students. The learning can be fun and thrilling experience, just like here, right? And the flip learning part, you can actually share these vlogs with your students so that they can replay at home as many times as they wish, because when they come back to your class, they would be, more than ready. They would be better equipped with sufficient amount of vocabulary to respond to your further questions, and actually they can expand on the theme of spring with their classmates, and they could actually engage in a more profound discussions once they arm themselves with enough of contextual vocabulary. And the short blocks would definitely come in handy in that respect. So using vlogs encourages active learning, as students can actually analyze, create, respond to those vlogs, making the lessons more interactive. So in this way of teaching, your classes would be more learner-centered, and there would be lots of interaction going on in the class. Your class would be hive of activity and interaction. Okay, on to the next insight, which is task-based learning. We teachers have to show our students that our role is not just limited to imparting some knowledge, some theory, some outdated information. You just name it. We are in the class as a modern ELT professional, more in the capacity of a facilitator, as a guide, as a motivator. We have so many other modern roles than those of our counterparts back in the days. So when you want to engage your students in a more real world task, which actually incorporates the user language, you could have your students improve their digital literacy and the 21st century skills like critical thinking or content creation. These are the essential skills in the modern world, as well as you can improve their media literacy. You know, especially those teenage students who might be vulnerable in their teens. So, especially given the volatile times that we're living in now, we're inundated with lots of fake and fake news and disinformation and misinformation. You can actually start um, fostering your students' media literacy right through their schooling years. And the vlogs would be a great help to support and improve their digital confidence as well as foster their autonomy. Your students would be actually taking hold of their own learning. They would be um, in charge of their own learning experience. So that leads to a learner agency, a learner autonomy, which is a powerful uh, concept and powerful skill for the students to improve. So the other vlog of mine comes from Muscat, Oman, and in this vlog, I am narrating as Mother Nature to address the environmental concerns that has been bothering, that has been troubling the Mother Nature. And through the vlog, the students would actually respond by splitting into two halves. One half would be the Mother Nature, and the other half would be just the mankind to actually listen to the problems, to the concerns of Mother Nature, and try to respond, try to find a solution. Now, let's take a listen.
What if one day Mother Nature speaks to all humanity? And probably this is how it may be. My oceans, my waters, they can either take you or leave you. Whether you regard me or disregard me, it doesn't matter. I am prepared to evolve. Are you?
Like I said, at the end of every vlog of mine, I try to pose a thought-provoking question. Whether you regard me or disregard me, I am nature. I am prepared to evolve. Are you? So that is a critical issue that's been explained through that 20-second video. The 20-second video provides tons of critical insights about what's going on around us and what we have to do as human beings. We can actually try to address the problem, the critical problem, and try to look for some quick fix, if not the silver bullet, right? So we can actually nourish our students to become a problem solver, and we can actually invite them and guide them and let them explore the possible and viable solutions to tackle the underlying the environmental issues. And together with your students, you could actually turn your classroom into a hub of solutions, into a laboratory of solutions. And how incredible and wonderful place it can be. Just imagine It's not just a place to learn the language, but it's a place to learn the language in the most effective and extraordinary and exciting way. Let's carry on. On to the next insight: multimodal learning and personalization. Okay, the other vlog also comes from Heze, China, where I used to work. So what I did basically is I tried to provide those instruction. I tried to provide what the students were supposed to be doing in the class through short videos, through 20-second vlogs. And I try to incorporate my other version, my online version, into my everyday lesson. So my students were kind of quite astonished at some point, but also thrilled to see double Feruz, one who was standing right next to them and the one who was speaking to them and instructing them on what to do and how to do through the vlog. Let's find out.
Hello everybody, this is me Feruz, and I got a question to ask you. Needless to say, English is a global language. But what exactly are you studying English for? Is that for the communication purposes? Or traveling abroad? Or reading some English books? Or even watching English movies? So what is your special reason of learning English? Please discuss with your partners. It's time for discussion.
Okay, so you can, simply ask a question. What is your best reason for learning English? But once you put it into a short vlog and you show it on a screen, on a large screen, your students would be super thrilled. You can just give it a try. Maybe this is something unheard of for you. Maybe this is something you've never given a try. But I'm sure after watching my session, you would be even more motivated and inspired to give it a try. So vlogs integrate visual, auditory, and contextual cues, right? Like I said in one of those previous vlogs, that I was trying to provide contextual set of vocabulary on screen through the vlog, and that was super effective. So it can actually aid comprehension. And Mayer, in 2009, in his Cognitive Theory of Multimedia Learning, he highlighted that when we combine the visual and auditory input, it can actually enhance the information retention. That means your students would be better at comprehending whatever you teach in the class. So they would be actually better learners and more successful learners. And Kras and Van Leeuwen, in 2001, they argued that multimodal texts like vlogs could actually offer richer communication than traditional text-based materials. Like I said, traditional text-based materials are mundane, lifeless, dull, and ineffective. Okay, on to one of my favorite parts in ELT, which is sustainability. In ELT, it has been quite a buzzword in recent years. Yeah, because, because of probably United Nations, SDGs, because of the climate changes, because of the environmental concerns. So sustainability has evolved as one of those overarching issues in ELT, and not just in ELT. So vlogs can be powerful ways to promote eco-friendly learning. So you can actually inculcate the thoughts of preserving and conserving nature in your students as early as the primary school, the junior school. Yeah, you can just give it a try. And Cates, in 1990, he was actually one of those pioneers who introduced the concept of global issues in language education. So language educations, it's actually a broad umbrella that encompasses many other issues, and not just the primitive um, problems like grammar or language acquisition. So we actually need to actively incorporate global issues into the heart of our lessons to make them more, lifelike. So imagine you make your class a problem-solving hub, a center. Your students would be more excited and enthusiastic about being part of that solution team rather than a student who is forced to mug up some boring set of vocabulary or some grammar rule which may have little or no relevance to the outside life. So, especially given the modern teaching context, when we are teaching digital native students, we are teaching Gen Zs, we're teaching alpha generation who are completely different from millennials, from their teachers. We have to better, you know, um, equip ourselves with the latest tech knowledge. We have to actually educate ourselves, train ourselves on going digital and trying to be part of the digital world, because we are teaching digital natives as digital non-natives. That is the irony. So Gilmer, he argued in 2007 that authentic materials like vlogs could actually expose students to real world issues, making learning more meaningful and socially relevant. You know, as an educator, as an ELT professional with 16 plus years of teaching experience in a number of countries, it has always crossed my mind, you know, what is missing in a broader picture of educational landscape? What are we not doing correctly? Or what is just not there as a missing jigsaw piece? And suddenly an a brilliant idea struck me. It occurred to me that we have to find an alliance. We have to actually bridge the the divide between the real life and actually the classroom. Most of the times, what we teach in the class have no relevance to what's going on outside the class, and that's why our students, find it extremely challenging to find the relevance and to find the practicality in whatever we teach as a teacher. And sustainability is actually one of those evolving issues in the ELT. And here is my vlog, which was done in the westernmost part of my country, where we used to have one of the largest lakes. It was actually called a sea, but then due to aggressive irrigation and negligence, it turned into a large desert and a cemetery of ships. Let's check it out. Hey guys, I'm so sad to say welcome, because this used to be an entire vast ocean of 60,000 square kilometers, the Aral Sea. But now there is not a drop of a sea of water, because now it has turned into a desert, a cemetery of ships. So when you show your students this kind of, moving, heart-wrenching videos and vlogs about conservation efforts, about environmental issues, your students would start thinking on their feet. And you will not only, you know, um, foster in them a better language learning student, but you will also simultaneously, you will, inculcate and nourish them to be a global citizen. You will actually inspire them to think broader. They would start thinking globally and acting locally. With that, we've come to the finale of my session. I'd like to walk you through some of the successful student projects. And this is with a group of Mexican students. On one side, you can see me with my flag, with my country's flag. On the other side, you can see a lady. Her name is Barbara. She's a Slovenian English teacher who's based and settled in Mexico. And all the other good-looking people are the Mexican students. So Barbara, all the way from Mexico, she reached out to me, and she actually suggested me to work on a intercontinental educational project, and she invited me to do that on a platform, on a platform called, on an app called Flipgrid. So what we basically did was, each and every student, the Mexican students, they were assigned, they were tasked to speak on Mexican culture, on something they like, on something they want to do, on something they would like to explore about the other countries. So every student put up their videos in that Flipgrid, and we, as two different English teachers who come from completely different parts of the globe, we were there to monitor and guide and inspire and motivate and facilitate these vlogs. So the students, at the end of the day, they enjoyed the entire experience. They were, for the first time, exposed to a foreign teacher who was there alongside their own teacher to actually comment, give some feedback, and provide some guidance and supervision. So they loved the idea of short vlogs, and they were also there to comment through video on one another's videos. So the students became so much, thrilled, and they fell for the vlogging experience. It was just a great experience. And the other experience comes from another app. It's called VoiceThread. And this is my student whom I teach online. So what we do is, at the end of every class, this particular student of mine, she's tasked to provide her homework through video response, and she will get a video feedback. You can see me there as well. So she has stocked up more than 30 short vlogs until now. And this is actually another effective way to measure her success, in the course of, let's say, 1 or 2 or 3 months. So she can just go back to the first month of vlogs. She could see how great she was, or she could see how fragile she was, and she could actually compare with the vlogs in the second month and the vlogs in the third month. So, as she continues her English studies, she would amass so many vlogs, and she can actually keep comparing. And the more vlogs she has, the better her speaking skills will get, the more exposure she will get, and it'll be just a great experience, a great visual experience. And here is what my student. Okay, Nigoria, this has been your second month. So far, so good. Now, I'd like you to share your feelings, thoughts, and impression of what you've learned so far, and some key takeaways about likes or dislikes, just an honest evaluation of yours. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Thank you for giving me a chance to express my opinion. And I can say that I start to raise a bar because of some reasons. Despite of being the second month student, I found myself very progressing because I start to enjoy. I started to feel the enjoyment of the process because I realized.
So you can see she started enjoying the process of learning. So we have to, as a teacher, as a modern ELT professional, we have to give them the chance to explore English learning as a fun experience. And ultimately, the entire journey is going to be amazing. I hope my session was amazing, and I hope you will have plenty of takeaways. And let's recap all too quickly. The first insight was bringing the real world to your class. The second is micro learning and flip learning. The third one is task-based learning. The fourth one is multimodal learning and personalization. The next one is sustainability in ELT. Last but not least, successful student projects. Actually, vlogging has more benefits than those listed 6 because because of the time constraints, I can go into the I can go the extra mile and provide you the exhaustive list of what vlogging can actually bring into your classes. But those 6, if they are there in your class, they're good enough to transform your classes far better than you can imagine. So here is the references. Yeah, just in case. And I'd like to bring up this quote, which resonated with my heart, with the bottom of my heart. And here it reads, build your skills, not your resume. And vlogging, my good friends, is one of those powerful skills that you can count on, especially given the 21st century digital landscape. I would be more thrilled to take on your questions if you do have any, and you can reach out to me anytime, anywhere, across social media. I'm super active and I'm actually everywhere. LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And don't forget to email me if you have any specific questions, queries, or concerns about language teaching in general. I'm very much into language teaching and language learning, so feel free to reach out to me anytime. Thank you very much. With that, I've come to the end of my presentation.